Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade and the
Shadeinthecity.
City. I am your girl, Treese.
It's Nels.
And today, y'all, we are catching up with 90 Day the Other Way. Don't get me lying. I believe it is season 5, episode 4. Don't have the name for you, but that's okay. It should be called Bugs, Creepy Crawlies, and Spiders, and etc. That's what I'm naming it. Because that was the forefront of my mind. And that Julio is a anyway, so thank you guys for all of your support over the weekend. We appreciate you. We appreciate the love. And we want to say welcome to, our new subscribers, new members of the Shade Squad. So if you're not, a member of the Shade Squad and, you're new to this and you're not true to this, the first thing you should do is probably hit that like button.
That subscribe button for sure. Join the family.
That's it. Join the family. Join the family. And y'all, let's get into it because I got a lot to say. I told Nels I got to do Julio and Kirsten because I've been saying it. If y'all been watching the reviews, and unfortunately,
That's because we know she likes F-boys.
I have a great F-boy detector, and I said it, and I knew it, and he is proving it. And they always do this to you. This is the bad part about it. They play the long game, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that, y'all. Let's get into it. Let's get shady. We pick up with Mary's grandfather asking, basically like what they did when they first met. Brandy says they met at the airport, they talked with her brother, and then they just rode home. I said, you know what,
He's a real one.
He's a real one.
He lied.
Brandy said he's not telling Mary's grandfather and says he has a resting bee face. We all know what that means. If you don't,
he said he looked like a stone cold killer.
Right. If you don't know, you should probably Urban Dictionary it, y'all. And he doesn't want any problems. He's like little Scrappy. Doesn't want any problems. So her brother translate, and then Brandon goes to they show him the room where he gonna be staying that they done, married and painted, made it look all nice. And she gives him a tour around the house. Now, this is what I was talking about in the intro. I am not being judgy. I understand that I have my American ways, but let me tell you something else can tell you something. If I could tell y'all the creepy crawlers that be crawling around this and I smack the shit out of them, I've gotten brave. Okay. I don't do the insects. But then when she said rodents.
First of all, they were all around the house, but I want to know why there were more in the grandparents' room. You could barely walk in there without seeing wings and all over the place. Their room is like infested with bugs.
What it was,
but yeah, she said that
what
it
was for me
bugs,
was the rodent, rats. The rats. I can't. I let me tell y'all something.
Squealing ass
when she said the roaches, Nels can tell you that's one thing. I'll kill them if I have to because I don't want you on me. Especially if you got wings and you fly, then you got to die. I'm sorry, you got to go. But I can't do no big ass rodents. I can't. You can't squish those. I can't. We're not. Yeah, that wouldn't work for me. Then the geckos, like I've dealt with them. We've lived in Florida. I've dealt with like the little small, but no, they hissing and doing. No, I ain't had nothing like that. Y'all.
What got me was he was in the living room and saw a spider. And, he told Mary, like, basically, oh, it's a big spider to watch out. She said, oh, no, that's a small one. And then when they showed all the other bugs in the house, that was a small one compared to all the other bugs in the house.
How they not getting, like, I'm not even trying to be funny. How are they not like, this is one of my thoughts, and I'm not even trying to be funny, and I'm not even trying to be offensive. How do you not like, because even the one spider, I was like, that's not poisonous. And like, those are things that I worry about when I see spiders. I don't.
Did you see that one with that like white thing underneath?
again, you're not getting bit by these. Like I don't know. I, whew, I just can't, y'all. I just can't. It's just, so I was praying for Brandon, but you know what? Brandon,
I did see some bug spray. They had some bug spray on top of the refrigerator. I saw.
What I love about Brandon,
like it's doing that. They eating that shit for breakfast.
right? What I love about Brandon is that he thinks the house is nice. He thinks it does need an exterminator. However, Brandon said he's lived in a shed, in his car. And so these living conditions, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. At that moment, I said, you know what? If you've never had nowhere to go and just having a place, whether it had bugs or whatever, that really will humble you. So I was like, you know what? I get it. I get it.
I think he said he's even gone without no running water. So he's happy to have a home that's his. Like it's his.
Right.
You know.
So they introduced.
I thought it was dope that he's seen it that way.
Exactly. Go ahead, Brandon. I'm here for that one time. So they introduced him to Be Home. Is that what I got? Be Home. Be Home.
Oh, you put the name of the food?
Well, because basically it's I went and Googled what it was. It is basically veggies with like translucent noodles, like those translucent, very clear.
Oh yeah, he said noodles with vegetables is what I thought he said.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. So he also tries the fried chicken and then tells him that he's ready for bed. Mary tells him he needs
Can I just say I wouldn't have been able to eat. I'd have been scared bugs got all in my food. I'm feeling like Carly right now. I don't know. I'm feeling like, all right, go ahead.
So Mary tells him he needs to basically ask for them to share a room. And so, she's like, ask them. Go ahead.
I'm too American for this.
I absolutely know that there are certain family members that when I go to their home, I can't sleep in the same, if I am not married, I cannot sleep in the same room.
Yeah, when you go to their home.
Oh, you're an asshole. This is my house and I live here.
And y'all don't have to. Y'all don't have to. I ain't asking goddamn.
You know what? Yes, you are very American.
I'm gonna ask you to put your earplugs on. That's what I'm gonna ask.
It's the entitlement of it all. So basically,
entitlement. I got the title and the deed to this mother. I don't need entitlement. The only title I need is the title to this goddamn house.
So the grandparents tell them that they can't sleep together, but they basically just want some respect and they don't want them, basically doing it in the house with them, or just period. Now, Mary and Brandon are excited to be sleeping together for the first time, even though, they got all these spiders and things going on. And he said he's more than ready for the first night. He's even packed his special drawers to show off his bulge. And Brandon said that although her grandparents said not to, he feels like, okay, he already broke the rules, so why not? So he's hoping for some type of intimacy. However, right. However, Mary done now turned into the Virgin Mary, and now all of a sudden she's like, nah. Well, she is a virgin. So now she's like, nah, partner. We she what would surprise me, she don't even want them to really cuddle like that because she's so worried about the sex. She's made him sleep head to foot. I said, damn.
Head to foot and back to back. I said, oh. Yeah, I think, and he's feeling some type of way because initially he was okay with it. He's like, well,
he's feeling real American.
Yeah, he's like, I feel, I understand she's nervous or whatever, but I think he still like wanted to cuddle and stuff like that. But now that he know it's coming from her too, she giving that energy. He like, well, damn, like I feel some type of way because I thought she would be comfortable the way he's like, she saw me on the shitter.
Right.
The hell.
So, and basically she says that, she hasn't let him know yet, but basically she's going to be trying to hold out until marriage because that's what her grandparents want, but she has yet to share that with him. And I said, well, surprise.
She has a lot. There's a lot she hasn't shared with him.
Right.
She's, oh God.
Oh, we got beef with Mary.
What you ain't about to do in my own house? Tell me, listen, we already look, and then you ain't tell me the rules. Who knows? Like he probably all on stuck after them kisses, okay? And now you want to sleep back to back, head to toe. Girl, shit it. Hell, Virgin Mary, my ass use a tease. Now what's
Ooh,
well who's next?
Danielle Yohan, my
Oh,
favorite.
great. I saw them on here. I said,
Well, because
it's
we
time
knew
for
they
them.
was gonna be on the show, but
Yeah, but I
that's
was like, it's time for them already. Goodness.
yeah. I mean, episode 4.
So Danielle and Yohan, I ain't get into all their backstory because we talked about them before.
Yeah,
And
we don't
hope
need to do
that
that.
y'all watched our previous review.
Yeah,
Okay.
y'all can run it back. Y'all can always run it
Yeah,
back. There's a playlist of the whole season.
exactly. So Danielle, she's been living in DR. She said 3 months now, and she absolutely loves it. Um, so much so that she's not Johan is number 4 on the list of things that she loves about DR. He's like, oh, okay, I'm number 4. She liked the slow life. She liked the beach. I think for a second she forgot about Johan. The
Mm.
reason why she was even there. She said things got really bad for them after her ex came to visit, and even worse as a tell-all. So, being that she
You
made
know what
him
it gives
feel
me?
what?
I don't know if she has, I mean, she's driving, so I imagine she has her license of some sort or whatever, but it gives me the vibe that as they said on the tell-all, she's using him for residency. And once she has it, the top 3 things that she wants to have has nothing to do with Johan. Just my thoughts. It's not like she's moving back to New York into her debt. So
I wouldn't. I don't know. Shoot, look. I'm okay with leaving the country.
no, I'm not mad at it, but I mean, we can't negate the fact that if you guys are not hip to Danielle and Johan, she moved over to the DR running from a whole bunch of debt that she got in the US and tickets and easy pass.
I mean, listen, can you blame her? You're leaving all these tickets.
No, but
And I'm telling you,
does that man know that? Or is she
who
still
gives a
lying?
damn? I'm here with at the white sandy beaches with show ass. Who gives a damn? Okay, and you ain't
Well,
working, and I'm
unfortunately,
making it
he
so that
can't
you
give
can
a
live.
damn because she's paying for everything right now.
That's why I said he ain't working, so she's making it easy for him to live. So who gives a damn? Look, and I'm telling you, them
Just
tickets in
turn
New
a
York,
blind eye. Just turn a blind eye.
love awareness. Um, so, so being that she made him feel humiliated, he wanted to return the favor by telling the entire world that he was divorcing her. So, she really thought the relationship was over, but they've been in therapy and she feels like it's been helping. So he started opening up, and she's learning how to be a part of a marriage and not wear her independence as a suit of armor, as she said. Now, they also have a dog named Gizmo to share responsibilities and prep them for having a baby. Child, you ain't having no baby, man. Just cut it out. But Danielle treats this dog like it's her baby, basically.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
And
I
he said they
want to
have
be
plenty of.
hopeful. She's holistic and stuff. She might, if Janet can do it at 50, why Danielle can't do it at 42?
She don't got Janet money, boo.
You're right about that.
Right? She would have stayed her
You're
ass
right
in New
about
York.
that.
She'd have been able to stay her ass in New York. Okay. Basically, Johan says, they have plenty of plans for the future. And that's what they're looking towards, not their past. Now, Danielle's friends, Sandra and Lizette, are coming to visit her from New York. Now, her New York driving ass really fits right into DR with the way her ass was driving up on curbs. I was, I'm sorry, I'm a New York driver, girl. Please, no, you're not. Now she's
Well, no,
looking
what it
for.
was somebody tried to get in front of her and she was like, let me in, and she cut in. I said that was
I
the New
think
York.
first of all, they had the right of way. She was
No,
turning
I
on.
agree with you, but that's very New York of her to cut in and insert herself.
Oh, okay. I thought you said somebody was trying to cut in front of her.
No, she cut in front of them because she just wanted what she wanted to do. And I said, that is absolutely a New York driver.
Yeah. Oh no, she's definitely a New York driver. I was saying no, she's not. Sorry. Now she's looking forward to basically easing her friend's mind's skepticism about Yohan and showing the new improved.
I will say I did like Danielle's weave though. It was cute.
It was like a strawberry blonde, but her hair was blonde. It was like pink and white.
Oh, I didn't see the strawberry blonde, but I liked it. I thought it
The
was.
weave was pink.
Well, you know more about that than I do. I don't keep up with that. Like I
All
didn't.
she saw was curls. She saw flowing curls. And she's like,
And
girl,
I
that's
said, okay, Danielle, go ahead, girl. That's exactly what I said.
she saw flowing curls and said, oh, that's cute. Her friends get there immediately. They notice Danielle looks good. She looks happy. They said she glowing.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't wait to see her and Yohan together. Danielle tells her friends that, you know, they're in a really good place, but Yohan isn't working now. A few weeks after she moved there, he left his job to be a personal trainer at the resort. And then, you know, his butcher shop closed down because the landlord wanted the space back. Now we know how Danielle felt about that anyway, and she says, you know, things happen for a reason. So she really don't give a damn.
Or because you didn't sign a contract for a storefront. And I said, oh, you gonna take a dig to let him know he was wrong. Because she has so much experience in business. And that's why Shade Squad, I take shots at her and her finances and her running from America to run from her bills and her debt because she stays in this main, huh?
Just because her business ain't making enough to pay all her stuff don't mean she don't know how to run a business.
I'm not, but what you're not gonna do is on poor Yohan's poor dreams and act like you just have all the answers. Have several seats.
My thing is, if y'all are married, I don't understand why. I don't know if maybe he wasn't open to it or what the case may be. I really don't know. But I would have thought she would have walked through that process with him step by step. Okay, well, you know, what did the landlord say? Da, 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 da. Did you get the contracts? Like, how is it that he did this without signing a contract if you're so good at business and you are his wife?
But how, Sway? Right. It doesn't make sense.
So regardless, Danielle thinks that, you know, he should be training people privately. I know you, what you doing?
Hitting these bugs and insects so I don't look like Mary and Brandan. Go ahead.
Danielle thinks that he should be training people privately anyway. And really thinks that his business closing down was a blessing in disguise.
And she thinks she's hoping that, but I don't think she does.
Well, she wants to do it with him so she could be there. She's hoping they'll figure out a way for him to contribute financially, but clearly it's not bothering her too much because they've been doing a nasty for 4 hours a day. So they both been busy. Now
well, it's island life. You ain't got nothing to do, nothing else to do.
I told you I'm okay with moving to another country, living the island life. Now, basically, her friend says, you know, she's painting a pretty picture, but she's gonna see through all the smoke and the sage and crystals and peanut shells. She should have said in coconut shells.
And chains and balls and all that other stuff.
Now her friends meet Yohan and they think he is beautiful. Her one friend said that he is a monstrosity of a man and he's endearing and easy to engage with. Girl, you sound like you want to hop on his bones. Okay. But they're ready to get right to the nitty gritty. Getting, you know, it was different because they were from two different cultures, trying to build a life together. And, you know, he said everything wasn't rosy, but they're working to make it all happen. He also said she hasn't adapted just yet. It's a process because she's tough. And when they have a disagreement, she throws around her age and independence. And her friends told him the best thing they can do is listen to each other and compromise. Next, they want to know about the money and what he gonna do to get it.
Right.
He said that he wants to open up his own gym, and that way him and Danielle can work together. You know, she does her yoga. But she said she can't do it all on her own. And basically she needs him to step up. She need him to step up.
That's what she said. To the
Is
main
it time
event.
for Julio? It's time for Julio.
Yeah. It's Kirsten and
Oh, yeah.
Julio. All right, right. So I'll say that off camera. Anyway, so
It ain't the same thing as Staten Island.
I know, but I know nobody really goes to Long Island either.
The people with money go to Long Island.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where Nassau County is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know that's where a lot of the rich people live.
Yeah, a lot of my cousin lives in Nassau. But no, yeah, Long Island is the nicer part.
But Staten Island is the one you don't fuck with.
Staten Island is not part of the 5 boroughs, is all I'm saying.
No, but there's certain people don't go. I think it's Staten Island. People don't really go to like it's either Long Island or Staten Island. Nobody's like going there.
It's Staten Island that nobody goes to.
Because isn't Pete Davidson from Long Island? He was like, nobody will go, like, nobody goes there.
Oh, I do know who Pete Davidson is. I don't know where he's from.
He's from Staten Island. That's why. That's what it is. He's a white boy from Staten Island. That's what it is.
I've never been to Staten Island.
Well, if you want a rough white boy like Pete Davidson. Anyway, let me get on topic. Anyway, basically Kirsten is now scared because she's like, things like that don't happen in the Netherlands. She's like, just owning a gun, just have it. And
yeah, she's like legally in the US. She's like, that's crazy.
And so for me, it was like a moment because it was like, well, you should, like, not saying you should want, but then it was like, but your life is so peaceful that like, why would everyone want to get? So I kind of get where she was coming from. And I think it would be nice to live in an environment like that. Like, I think we live so rich.
Listen to me, I told you, I want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
They ride bikes. It looks like something in a storybook. Like,
look, what's so crazy? She ain't say nothing about nobody stealing your bike. She ain't say like,
no,
yeah,
no. And look, she said there's more bikes than people. So no, clearly nobody's stealing bikes.
So he's taking her to the cousin's house. He tells her she may need to, be a little bit louder. And Kirsten gets
after telling her to be herself.
Right. And she gets a little bit offended and says she's not going to be loud like an American. I said, watch yourself. Watch yourself. Okay.
That's coming from somebody that's loud.
Right.
That's all right. Blame it on you being American.
Right. I'm an American. So Kirsten starts to question if he likes her as she is. Now Julio realizes that Kirsten may be in for a culture shock. Obviously, his family's Dominican and, they're loud and, just very boisterous and whatever. They're sitting there playing dominoes. They got the music. I said, thank God they wasn't playing spades because you might have got evicted from the party, Kirsten. And Julio, that's why I like to call him, but now he's Julio because we've identified. No, because we've identified that you're an F-boy, so we got to go by your government name so everybody knows who you are. They don't get it twisted. So he admits that he does want his family's approval before he moves to the Netherlands. His cousin asked about their relationship, and then it comes out that he didn't really say anything until 3 weeks ago to his cousin that he's talking to. I didn't get her name. And Kirsten lets them know that they've been together for a year. Now, the aunt asks if she's moving, if they get married, and she tells them he wants to move. Now, what I will tell you, I'm not going to lie, and I don't know, and this is not trying to be funny, and this is no shade to Kirsten. I don't know if it's her culture but she has a resting bee face. Like, even when she's happy, even when she's sad, her face kind of like stays the same. And I don't know.
But I feel like that's a lot of people outside of the US. I just feel like they don't.
That's why I said I wasn't trying to be shady and I wasn't trying to make like that's but I was just like, I don't know if it's a cultural thing or
I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't
to Americans who are you get what I'm saying? We show everything.
Are fake as fuck. Feel the need to smile for no reason. Like, what are you smiling? Like when I walk past people, I don't know you. What the hell are you smiling at me for?
I smile.
For what? Why? What the hell are you smiling for?
Say good
You're not
morning.
even
Good
saying anything.
morning.
You're not even saying anything to me. You're not even saying good morning. How
Oh,
are you?
well,
I
I
can
would, well, no, sometimes I'll give you a head nod and a smile.
you
You
moving.
an asshole.
But she's like, we're sitting here having a conversation. Like, why do I need to be all smiley? And
Oh,
we're
God.
not having a funny conversation. So it's like I feel like Americans like they feel like the need to be like,
You're an asshole.
help. I feel like
That's actually
that's
funny.
what they are.
You're funny.
She said she ain't gonna be like an American.
The whole family is calling him out because he's basically saying he's leaving for the Netherlands in 3 months, and they calling him out for the late notice. And I, in my notes, say Julio is just a okay. He's a okay.
He was like, I gave you 3 months. You need more than that.
Right. Kirsten shares that they lived together for 2 months, and of course his family had no clue. They asked, would she come live there for 2 months?
Can I say something? Because I think this is why I'm so team Kirsten, especially in this situation, because it couldn't have been me.
No,
The
I'm
real
team her.
no,
I'm just
no.
saying I know
My
I
thing,
picked up on behavioral
what you're not
things.
about to do is tell me, oh, y'all are so close, and this is why you want me to move here. Y'all so close, but y'all didn't even know what was going on in his life. You didn't even know that he was gone for 2 whole months living outside the US with me. You need to be talking to your cousin about how close y'all are, because it's not giving that.
Well, I mean, he really ain't being clear with his mama until a couple days ago. But anyway, so they basically ask her, she's open to coming living for 2 months. And she basically says, I'm not doing that. She has no desire.
Like I'd have been like, this man literally just showed me a bullet hole in his house. I'm definitely not. We don't even have guns where I live. I'm good. I could be driving down the street somewhere and a bullet come through my damn car. Absolutely not. No, I'm not.
Yeah, so she's not signing up for that life. He thinks his cousin's solution would actually be a good one. What did I tell y'all about Julio a couple episodes ago? And I said he's playing in his girl face, and he has no,
He a punk.
and he a punk, and he has no intentions. I said because and you know what? And this is another thing to reiterate my point. I think if he would have been engaged to her and introduced her as, this is the woman that I am so crazy about, that I have decided to commit to her and I am moving, his family would have taken it a little bit more seriously because you've taken these steps to, but the fact that you just bring some girlfriend over here that you didn't tell us about, you kept her a secret, and now you're running off to move with her. No, it doesn't seem serious.
I think that's how she feels too.
So, well, shout out to Kirsten, because girl, I feel it for you. I seen it. I synced it. Okay. So now Kirsten makes it clear that she's not living there, and he thinks it'll be easier if she would accept if they could move there for a while, and the family try to get on board, like, yeah, if we could just get to know you. And no, because they know that boy playing with you. That boy playing with you, and they don't want him moving over there. Point blank, period. So basically she's upset that
I think she doesn't necessarily care, like, if it's a possibility that he was playing with her, because he was the one making all the sacrifices.
right.
But now he's making all these suggestions for her to do it, and it's like
that we never talked about that.
Yeah.
So basically she's upset that he isn't defending his own choices. I said, yes, girl, you better use your words, and said that they never had any conversation about her moving over there. Now, Julio and Kirsten are headed to these friends' Halloween party. I did think this was a little cute because apparently Kirsten, they don't really celebrate Halloween. They don't really get down like that in the Netherlands with the Halloween. So I thought it was cute that they dressed
she only really seen it in the movies.
Right. And they went to a party. She says that, but she admits, and I will say this, I think I'm going to give her some grace because I can't hide my emotions either. And if I'm not happy, if you got me going out and doing things, and I'm not feeling good on the inside, you probably will get an RBF most of the time.
And she said ever since she got there, she said she's been trying to hide it.
Right.
Ever since she got there, she's been.
So to her point, I'll give her some grace, because she says she's been hiding her emotions. She's still annoyed by being ganged up on earlier by his family. And basically she's hoping to have some fun at this party since it's her first time celebrating Halloween. But this trip has not been what Kirsten has expected at all. So he really wants her to meet Vincent when they get to this party. Apparently, Vincent was the only person that knew about Kirsten. He apparently dropped Julio off at the airport when I guess he went to live with her for 2 months.
And he said, I thought he was crazy for going over there, but I dropped him off anyway.
So, yeah, and he asked them like how they're doing, like what's their relationship like, and how he was. Julio brings up how he's a great house husband. And basically, I love how Kirsten was like, you had no choice to be because you weren't working. And I said, you better. You better equality over in the Netherlands. You better. So basically, yeah. And he's like, oh, but they had a couple of fights. And then his friend suggests, well, like, y'all are still getting to know each other. So why don't you look into, or have you thought about getting your own place? Because you have had these issues. And he basically thinks that Julio is giving them all of the good things, but is not really discussing the bad things. And I think he even has a moment where he starts to realize, oh shit. But this is what makes me mad. I think you realized that before, bro. I think you realized that before. I think that in my mind, and I said it probably 2 episodes ago, or probably the past 2 episodes, that you never committed to her, meaning that you could go over there, get your own apartment, do your own thing. You just want to use her as to Nell's point, the last review, you just want to use her as a way to get away from everything and go travel, but you really have no true intentions on being with her for real.
I want to know how he planned to get his own place when he clearly can't get a job there because he don't speak the language.
Well, no, but he's a DJ. He's just going. He don't got to speak the language to go spin and dance.
You think he would just DJ over there? They don't want to hear that shit.
Kirsten is completely blindsided by this new information and him wanting to live alone. And she's like, well, what's the point of you coming over there? If you wanted to be by yourself and you just wanted to travel, what's the point? Like, no, she's not okay with it.
She said, I want to build with somebody. If that ain't what you want.
I'm here with Kirsten setting her boundaries. This is what we're not going to do. And basically she said, they take a step outside because she says she's heartbroken. She's pissed off. He's now, and then she told him, she said, you know what? I don't like the fact that you feel like you always need the last word. That annoys me. Mm-hmm. I said, you better tell it. All of it's coming out. And I said, this is why.
Oh, and also, I guess most of the arguments are about his OCD. But my thing is, sir, if you wasn't working, and you was over there for 2 months, you was the house husband.
Right.
You supposed to take care of the house.
Well, at the end of the day, as they get ready to go outside and have a separate talk, Kirsten lets him know that she ain't having it. She said, trying to find out if you want to. But if we live in separately, ain't no point in us basically being together. And I was with Kirsten because I told y'all he was playing in her face the whole time. And I understand Julio's like, oh, I didn't think about all these things, where you should have thought about it before you committed to move to a different country and had this girl probably preparing for you to move. You talk about you moving in 3 months, and now you want to put some deep thought into it on whether you should do it. Get out of my face.
And
then what made me so mad, and it was such a trigger. Oh, but I love you so much. I want to make this work. How can we make this work? The only way we can make it work is if you're going to move in with me. And you've already said, right. And you've already said that you're questioning that. And he does admit in confessional that he's questioning it. He don't know if he want to move now.
Who the hell wants somebody that ain't sure in what the hell they want? And didn't think about all these things that could have come up previously. So you ain't leading nobody.
Not now, body. Nope.
TJ and Kimberly. Back into the foolishness. TJ goes downstairs to get some validation from his family that, he's not the one in the wrong. And of course, his brother is willing, ready, and able to jump on that.
Of course he is.
We know he can't stand Kimberly's ass. But TJ expresses that, she's been nitpicking and she's been here for less than 2 hours. On like
I
little
said that.
small
I think I
things.
said that last episode. I said it sounds like nitpicking.
Mm-hmm. And then he's really heartbroken by the language that she used towards him. Well, Kimberly is upstairs. She's crying, saying she told him that she was appreciative, but she also told him what she wanted. Girl, you said you was appreciative, but you ain't showing it.
No, not at all.
Now downstairs, he's telling his family that at this point he's exhausted, and his brother said everybody's doing their part. What is the point?
Can I okay, so I hate to interrupt you, but who do you think, and just off of who do you think is wrong in this argument? Because I agree with TJ. I do feel like she came in, it's all about me, me, me. And
I agree with TJ. I agree with TJ as well, especially listen.
and then when he said she treated me like I was her servant, I said,
especially listen, and there's a way to do things too. If you want to say you didn't get what you wanted, first of all, you don't come in day one. Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. Honey, you just landed. You just got here.
You gotta learn how to finesse, Kim. You should.
Exactly.
Your spirit guides didn't tell you that.
TJ sound like he don't believe she got spirit guides.
He said clairvoyant who?
TJ actually gets emotional, explaining that, he tried to give her what she wanted. And he has to pay this loan for the next 7 years. And she's telling him it was a waste of motherfucking money. I just felt bad when he started crying. And his brother, I feel like that made his brother even more pissed. Because, he knows the effort that he put in. And he feels like she's being unappreciative. And, he was super offended by the fact that she called the house shit. He said her mind is bullshit. Everyone feels like basically she's being a spoiled bitch. Even the dad said, she's behaving like a sheik from Dubai.
You know what? And I will say this, up until the last episode where we seen Jenny and Rishi and the reunion, we've never, because I think about it, even if Sumit's brother didn't like Jenny, he was never disrespectful to her. But that's because Jenny was never, quote unquote, disrespectful. And I feel like I do, in their culture, I do feel like she's being disrespectful. Like, I do feel like it needs to be a conversation.
I wouldn't even say in their culture. I feel like the only thing that I would say maybe is disrespectful in their culture is her using the language that he's expressing. Clearly in his culture, that's seen as disrespectful. So that's the only thing that I guess I would say is a cultural difference. But other than that, I feel like everything else, either way, here or there, was disrespectful.
Okay, no, I get what you're saying. I felt like I said, we've done so many of these 90 days that I was just like, why has nobody else's family reacted so like openly, like with dislike or disdain for a person outside, like his brother really doesn't, and clearly his family really don't mess with her, and it's really just him. I don't know if this is gonna work.
Now, this girl got the nerve to say it seems that it's all about him and what he wants right now.
Hot meat kettle.
How? What is he saying that he wants?
He just wants you to be happy, and he thought he
wants you to stop
nitpicking.
You
Right.
And basically he's talking to his family and just confirming that what she thought that, it's going, she's feeling some type of way that he's downstairs talking to his family, and it's confirming for her that they're like all kind of ganging up against her. I mean, they did hear you screaming and yelling about some shit that you
well, that's where she has to start off, in my opinion. Like, you have to know I live above these people. So if we're going to argue, you have to know, if you don't want them in your business, if you don't want them to judge you, because of course that's their son, their brother, etc., they're gonna, like, to your point, I think it would even be that way in an American household. If we have siblings, sisters, and brothers that live with us, and you hear me argue with my partner, and we let you in,
whether you come join us or not, we're still going to draw our own conclusions.
Right.
We can hear it. So basically TJ and his brother go outside. You know, he's trying to vent to his brother, and his brother said, all I know is she's a very bad girl. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, listening to this girl, it does seem like she is being like a spoiled little bitch. The next day, this girl is staging the house, like she's not the one with the negative energy. She said that he did invite her to go downstairs and sleep in the bed with all of them, but she didn't even want to talk to him. So she says, you know, last night was super uncomfortable for her. She was cold. The mosquitoes came in. The water hardly was working, and the toilet doesn't flush. It's supposed to be her safe space, and she can't even use it the way it's supposed to be used.
Disrespectful.
Her main thing, she says, is she doesn't feel heard. She said last night, you know, she could see a bunch of spirit guides that told her, you know, they've always been there for her, but it's scary just to think that she's there alone. TJ woke up with a different tune. He said, you know, sometimes they have good days, sometimes they have bad days, but you know, it'll be one bad day out of all these good days. So he can't let the bad outweigh the good.
I love his attitude.
Right? And he said he just loves her so much. So he goes upstairs in a much better attitude, but she's still upset. So she let him know that her issue is that he was not listening. He said his issue was that she underestimated his efforts, and she used abusive language. She said calling him a dick just means that, you know, he was being mean. He said, okay, I could hurl some Hindi words to you too, but I wouldn't do that. And you know, he tells her that you're a woman to be using this type of language. He said, your culture is so sexist. What does my gender have anything to do with it? He said, my culture is dignified, and I can't use that type of language to a woman as well. Basically saying it's not sexist, it's we respect each other. Right. So it's not you being a woman talking.
I love when he called her a bastard.
Yeah. He said
I love that. When he called her, she was like, I'll give him a whole dick. Testicles. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, okay. So, you know, basically he said, how are you clairvoyant if, you know, you're not respecting someone's soul and their emotions? She basically told him that he needs to get used to it, because that's not even a curse word, and she does curse, and she's been doing it since she was 13.
I am who I am.
He said, well, I don't want you to be calling me a dick because it hurts. And she said, well, it hurts me when you don't listen to me. Girl, can we address one thing at a time? How old is she again?
I don't 32, I thought, or I don't know.
No way. There's no way she's
I think she's in her 30s. I'm gonna go back and look it up, and we'll talk about it next one. But I'm over Kim. Like, I'm not saying that TJ is perfect. He does have things. He does brush her feelings up under the rug. I'm not saying that. That does need to be addressed, but unfortunately, it's hard because you're now addressing them in a country where women are supposed to be respectful. And so it's not like he came over to America and you get to cuss him out, right? Like you would do.
The thing is, I guess I'm not taking that into consideration, because this is about to be your whole husband. You're supposed to be respectful regardless. You're supposed to be
I agree.
So I don't think it has anything to do with the culture.
I think she just feels like she can't react, or, well, in my opinion, I would feel like I can't react as maybe, or be as upset, or really vocalize what I needed to vocalize to you, or, you know what I'm saying?
It seemed like she did that though.
Well, no, she did. You're right. I'm sorry. I was trying to, I guess, The devil, just because it won't no advocate. Go ahead.
So he asked her, what is her life plan? And she says, well, right now, I don't know after yesterday and the way you spoke to me. That you were
Basically,
complaining
the things
and
that were
you were
wrong.
over evaluating, and basically that hurt. And
And she said, I just wanted toilet paper to wipe my ass. That's all I wanted.
That's basically what she said. You're not listening to me. Can you just tell me that you heard me? He got up and left. He said, you know, I'm not doing this shit. I ain't
He
doing this
did.
shit.
He did.
He's like, I'm trying to have a calm conversation with your ass, and you want to get all emotional and scream and holler and shit
He
and get
said,
mad.
I ain't
My
got it.
family can hear your ass.
He said, I ain't got it to do.
Why she didn't come downstairs to get no toilet paper though?
Because she didn't want to go down. See what it is, and this is what I got from it. She's upset because she lost her temper and she showed her ass, but she understands the reason why I was bringing the culture up is because now she's ashamed to go show her face, because not only does she know her husband was down there talking about her, but the family has something to say. So that would be like knowing people are talking about you. Now you got to go look at them.
So then you're still going to do it though. The next morning, you're still going to do it though. That makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Well, no, I think that's why she was hiding upstairs.
But you still are screaming and yelling the next morning.
Oh, right. No, I agree. I don't know. She comes off, like you said, I'm now questioning age because maturity just isn't what I feel like it should be for you to be flying a different country. But again, her spirit guides told her what they told her. So who the hell am I? Armando and Kenny are going to pick up Armando's mom. She's spending some time with them and then going to take Hannah back with her. Armando admits that he's starting to like the appeal of Mexico City. I said, okay, Armando, I was actually here for Armando this episode. Kenny asked when he plans to talk to his mom about the possibility of him moving. Armando hopes that he can warm his mom up to the idea. And Kenny tells Armando when he met him, he was sad. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did feel like on this part, I was like, Kenny, that's a little bit manipulative. You're going to take him into a meeting with his mom. You know what's about to happen. You know she's going to be who she is and refute it. And so you're going to prep him before. You're going to manipulate him before the meeting. And remember how sad you were when I met. I don't know. I just didn't feel like that was right.
I understand where you're coming from, but he also knows that his mother is going to manipulate him as well. So.
Well, I don't know. He was
trying to prep him for that manipulation, but Armando didn't give a damn. He's like, that's your American way of thinking.
Right.
And this is what we do here in Mexico. Our parents' opinions matter and we live to make them happy. So F what you're saying.
Right. So apparently it takes 5 days to get from San Felipe to Mexico City. So as soon as she gets in the car and they pick her up from the airport and she asks, is the doors locked? And she's sitting around looking all, crazy like. And so Hannah asks if she's scared, and is she scared? She's like, yeah, I am, baby. I said, well, damn. Not scared enough to sit down and wine and have her dinner. So they get to dinner and she said, because let me tell you something. If I'm scared, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to put myself in a situation of more.
She was trying to get loose, trying to get comfortable.
I guess. So they get to dinner. She says someone stuck her hand in her purse on her first visit, so she never thought she would come back. She asks Armando how he feels about Mexico City, and he reveals that's why they brought her there, to get her thoughts on them moving. Armando tells his mother, Kenny insists on moving. That's the only thing I didn't like. But the only thing is I can't say that it wasn't true. I felt like he threw Kenny. I felt like he threw Kenny under the bus, but at the same time,
it's the truth. But Kenny knew that it was going to happen because he knows that he was the one that suggested it.
Right.
So he was like, to ruin our relationship.
She tells Armando he already followed him once, and she gets emotional. And she's like, "And why are you trying to make me suffer?" And I was like, "That's when I was so proud of Armando." His mother is upset, and he said to her, he's sad to see her cry, but clarifies he didn't want to move. And he had no other options because he didn't feel supported. I said, you better, Armando. He said his mom says she's in shock and doesn't know what they are looking for there. He reminds her that she wasn't supportive when he came out. His mother has a differing opinion. He feels his mom is victimizing herself. And he finally wants to speak up for himself. And I said, well, you better, Armando. It's about damn time. You all good 34 now. You better. Now, he also shares that he went through, what he went through with, I guess, losing Hannah's mom. And no one ever said, I love you, gave him a hug, asked him. And she was like, well, that's just our culture. And he says that he left because he felt he had no choice. And his mom calling him out was basically triggering for him. So he explains to Kenny what's going on. Obviously he's translating, and Kenny is like, well, I mean, you were so, and I'm just like, this is so awkward because you're going at it with this man's mama. And this is some shit that he got with his mama. Let's just keep it 100. He's had this issues with his mama way before Kenny. Unfortunately, because it was Kenny gets to be the scapegoat and make it seem like he's the problem when really you've had these issues with your family and Kenny just gave you a way out. That's why I'm not mad.
I feel like that's part of the reason why Kenny gave him the because I understand where you're coming from, but I also feel like it was kind of like a pep talk. It was like, let's not forget how far you've come, not necessarily.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, let's not revert back to
right. To doing whatever mommy says.
Mm-hmm.
And so Kenny asked Armando to share basically with his mother that it's not about her, and that, basically she puts a lot of guilt on him and he can never put himself first. And he tells her he hurts when she does, but basically he's married now and he has someone else to consider. And I said, this is where we need you to be, Armando. Okay. This is where Kenny needs you to be. I like the growth.
And back to what I said.
And poor little Hannah sitting there and she's like, that sounds about right.
And she know both sides. She know exactly what both of them are saying now. But back to what I was saying, I also feel like because Kenny also helped him open up and be able to express himself, even to Kenny, you know what I mean? He's like, give your mama that same energy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yes. On to Wayne and Holly. So Wayne is taking Holly to do some clothes shopping because he don't like the way she dressed.
No, he hates. My notes say he hates.
He does. He hates the way she dressed. Now he said that he's told her before that the guys out there will look at her like a piece of meat, and basically she's putting herself in danger. So Holly says that she understands his perspective, but already moving to another country, you're giving up so much. So it does make it a little bit harder, kind of giving up some of yourself. So she wants to compromise, but don't want to give up too much. So at the store, he wants her to try on all these modest dresses, because apparently what she wears, I think that she doesn't know the definition of modest, because she was picked.
Even what she picked out wasn't modest.
That's what I'm saying. The dresses that she picked out were nowhere close to modest. And then the first dress she tried on was even shorter than the one she came in with.
I guess she feel like because she got so much hair that covers her that it don't matter what she wear because the hair just going to cover.
I would think that makes her dress look even shorter because the hair is longer than the dress. So listen, he went over there and went through her dresses that she picked out, okay, to take in the dressing room. And then she came out with a maxi dress that was basically down to her ankles, and this one was his favorite. He freaking loved it. He told her he don't want to dress him like a nun, but
he don't want to look like a prostitute.
Yes. Why did he use those words? He caught her well off guard. He tried to change the subject.
He said, "You look like a harlot." Look, I think I'd rather be called a harlot than a prostitute. I mean, it's the same damn thing. But
he tried to apologize because she kept on bringing it up. He kept on trying to change the subject. She kept on bringing it up, but she's like, okay, but we're not white. Why we got to be disrespectful? Why you got to call me a prostitute? You know what I mean? He tried to apologize, and yeah, she's definitely not over it. She went to the dressing room. She called her mom in there. She was clearly in tears. I think he went to go try and check on her, and she just was not here for it. You done messed up, homie.
She ain't say nothing about your janky ass security system ass house that keep getting robbed every other Tuesday. She ain't say nothing about that. She ain't take no shots at you.
What's really putting us in danger? The hell?
Or maybe they trying to get to this house because they know it's easy to get in, and then I got my ass out, so it don't make it no better. Anyway, that is Wayne and
the 2-for-1, huh?
the 2-for-1. So that's Wayne and Holly. Yeah, y'all, if you have not already, please make sure that you have hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And please make sure that you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the IG, the Facebook. I appreciate y'all. We thank you for all the love. But anyway, guys, have a good night. And thank you so much for your support. Bye-bye.